wanna stay. Singing to your bitch like I was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you hip in the front, so you get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Come on with a dank, scrolling in the tank, rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline tripping, I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live at WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spin Morax.
Hello.
We got Young Sus in TD Booth as always. JB Smooth with the 1s and 2s, and the return of the legend, Killer Flannel Sam.
It has been a while, hasn't it? It feels good. It feels good though, man. Like coming back this week, I just have so many takes in the chamber that I just have to sort of like let loose.
That's what I'm saying.
I've had a ton of fun on BDE with you, Spencer, and the rest of our crew, and I'm looking forward to today. Let's have a great show, guys.
What's one take that like you were watching the show while you were away, or you caught a clip like while you're away, you were just pissed off and you wanted to fire back at?
Well, one thing that maybe not that perspective, but after Aiden Hutchinson had that good game against Dallas, I kind of wanted to be like, hey, he's back in the race for Defensive Rookie of the Year, and he's right on pace for 12 sacks again, and then he does what he does against Miami, and all the momentum's gone, so that's the one.
I've been such a sad boy about the Lions. I actually didn't even watch the tape on that game this week.
Yeah.
I didn't watch, like I usually do, I didn't watch the Miami Dolphins-Lions rerun. What? Somebody do some funny already?
Just chat. Just King Horse.
What's King Horse on the Woodward Sports chat? Oh,
Lego
like
Head
usual, is back. Return of the Mac. Flannel Sam is now married. Speaking of marriage,
Speak with him with some respect. Speak to him with some respect. Man's locked down.
I thought you were speaking another language.
Yeah, it was like
Speak like You're like, Speaking of marriage, Miss Argentina, and I believe it's Miss Puerto Rico, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah.
That's the biggest news of today, so we got to talk about it.
Yeah, we got to.
All right. Got married. Damn. That's what I'm saying. Good. That's crazy.
That's how the universe does it. It writes itself. You lose one beautiful couple in Tom Brady and Giselle.
Yeah.
And you're gifted a beautiful couple in Miss Argentina and Miss Puerto Rico.
I'm saying.
That sounds like sounds like a movie that'll get played in hotel rooms after midnight.
Yes.
Miss Argentina, Miss Brazil, back at it.
Showtime, Skinamax flick right there.
That's dope though.
That is dope.
Good for them.
Yeah, it's exciting, but it's also not exciting because like it's not.
What if they're like
you can't watch it?
Yeah, that's true. What if unless you get another Wisconsin volleyball situation
with them too?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
What if they're like going at each other for Miss Universe?
Like scrapping?
No, like they're the final two. You think it'll cause some rifts in the relationship?
Probably. Like women are. Like I don't know if this like sex
crazy.
Yeah, they are, bro. They really are.
Just jumps off the ledge.
All right, I'm not even gonna hesitate with that one. They're crazy, man.
Crazy.
But
that's why we love them.
Which one do you think's the boy? No, I'm joking.
God.
With the married guy, Flannel Sam.
Put the picture back up. You know what? In my head, I am going to answer my own question.
In my head. In my head.
What that song's about? Can you throw that picture back up, Sus?
Yeah.
Chat, I want you guys to answer.
Dude.
I can't. Oh, for sure.
Who's who?
I don't know who's who. That's actually a good question too.
It's the girl. It's a girl. It's a brunette.
They all look the same.
It's the one with the pants on. I think the black pants.
Yeah, it's the brunette.
That's the boy. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Really?
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Hey yo!
Hit the like button if you guys haven't already. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Share the stream. Oh man, we got our number one fan in the chat. Maybe we should cool it down a bit. We're talking about that kind of stuff. But another thing trending across the interwebs: Elon Musk obviously purchased Twitter.
Yes.
A lot of people stood behind it. I was a fan of Elon Musk purchasing Twitter. He has now made the verified check a monthly subscription. You can pay $8.
Oh, I thought it was 20.
No, I mean some people were respecting
just the 8 ball.
Just the 8 ball. A lot of people are tripping over it though. A lot of people are bitching, so they made this meme where you have the Starbucks coffee.
He
that's $8.
posted that meme, dude.
Yeah.
Guy's a professional troll.
Dude, he's the best. Are you beefing with that? I think it's smart.
I think it's
cool.
smart. It's a good idea. You know, it's keeps like fake accounts from keeping that check.
Yeah.
Like accounts that
one
aren't
guy that
active.
got us a couple weeks ago. Good thing we didn't like run to tweet it out, but I think it's a good idea too, man. Like you said, I think someone posted like statistics. It was like 400,000 verified accounts, and maybe even more than that, and like for the free ball. But even if 100,000 of them were paid $8.
I saw a tweet that said we're about to have 4,000 Woj bombs at the trade deadline now. Like
That's
we're gonna have all these. All it takes is an 8-ball to be Woj now.
No, I think you still gotta meet the requirements.
Yeah, you still have like verify.
To keep
like
it, you have to, pay $8 a month.
Yeah, you think Woodward can pay the
Cool
$8?
with that?
Yeah, we're definitely keeping ours
For sure.
We worked hard for that.
Yeah.
I was a part of that. All right. Are you gonna get it?
Am I going to get verified? Again, I think you have to meet the criteria for it. You can't just. I don't think anybody can just pay $8.
No, that's how he's doing it. That's what he said.
That's what I thought.
The way he worded it is like there's no more like peasant treatment. You know what I'm saying? Like treat like you're less than. Like you want to be verified for some stuff.
I don't think that's it exactly.
breakdown.
I think you actually have to be verified first, and if you want to keep that verified status, then you pay the $8.
No, it's like
it's money.
If you want to be verified, you pay the $8. You get the verification.
I'm smooth.
But I mean, you still got to be yourself, though.
I don't need the
barrier.
verification. I'm smooth. I'm chilling.
Because like it's weird now. Because I put in. Have you put in to be verified yet?
No.
I put in the submission sheet, and I have everything that meets like the qualifications, but they dick you around. It's like all they do is dick you around. I think that's like at least that's for me. You know what I'm saying, as a guy like obviously tried to get verified at once is like. I don't know. I don't have to be dicked around anymore. Here's my $8. You know, does it help me? I don't know.
I don't know.
Find out. Sam, are you gonna get verified?
I'm not paying him no money.
Bro, I got like 235 followers. So at this point, I know that I guess technically you might be able to, which is $8. But as of right now, no, I'm good. But if you want to be verified, I think people who want to be verified can afford $8 a month. I think the Venn diagram, there's like a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's just it is what it is. I don't really feel that strongly about it.
Yeah, I guess like for me personally, like I mean I'm a heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big boy, so I mean like when we do get paid, you go to the what's the place you go out to eat every time you get checked? You and Dom.
Oh, Korean barbecue.
Korean barbecue.
Yeah.
Like we've all paid like a $12 meal. I'm paying $8.
Way more than $12 meal.
Oh yeah, I didn't want to put you out there like that.
It's all right.
But
it's like a $50 meal.
Is it better than downtown?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so good, dude.
I'll have to join you guys next time. But no, I gotta pay $8 for that if it's gonna help me, further along, I guess. Or I don't know.
I would.
We'll see what it does.
It ain't worth it, bud.
We're gonna find out.
We're gonna see.
We're gonna see.
Other breaking news, and actually, this is my fault that I don't have this gentleman's name prepared. I just kind of was throwing stuff in for the beginning of the show today. The first white cornerback in the NFL.
Oh yeah.
There's two pictures. There's one of them in the Commanders jersey. Sus, it's the red one.
Yep.
Because that one has his name on it, and I apologize. I know it's like Ipes or Eps or something like that.
Here it is.
Troy Apke.
There you go. Troy Apke is the first white cornerback in the NFL since 2003. However, that has since been fact-checked, and here's the one with the blue jersey, if you can, Sus.
Yep.
There was another gentleman, actually, in 2010. Pete. Was that
registered 3 total. Pete Iteragan.
Sound like you made that
3
one
games
up.
for Tennessee in 2010, and he registered 3 total tackles.
So he isn't.
But I don't know if he started. Did he start a cornerback?
Doesn't sound like it.
Probably not. He's probably
he was only there for 3 games.
Yeah.
He's probably practice squad guy, got moved up. I thought that was pretty sweet.
He's about to get burnt.
He's fast.
Yeah, he ran like a 4.35.
Yeah, he ran 4.35 because on the same.
Seen the video.
Yeah, Deion
Prime
Sanders
time came up to him.
yeah.
Oh, he's fast. He's running.
I think it was Rich Eisen. Whatever. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, I can't say it.
Yeah,
you
he's
know.
like, what do you mean by that? He's like, well, generally, you know. You're not wrong, Prime.
Shout out, # Clown Sauce got his jersey already.
Yep.
He's got that one framed in the bedroom. I honestly hope he's cool. I hope he's good, just because it's just fun. Like I root like.
I don't care.
Yeah, you're right.
I 100% don't care.
I know you don't care. I care because it's just funny to me. Everything in life, I try to find a way to make it entertaining. Otherwise, life is just miserable and quite sad, honestly. Like Christian McCaffrey.
Damn.
I like rooting for him too. You know,
Is that?
he's like a white Reggie Bush. Am I Uncle Ruckus? JB, how you feel about it?
He's just trying to.
We guys looking at me like I'm crazy.
Wait, what was even the question?
How do you feel about the first white cornerback in the NFL since 2010?
Do you love it? Do you hate it?
I mean,
I hate it.
he's there.
They
Thank you.
Breaking barriers, I guess. At the cornerback position, I don't know.
They're evolving.
No, yeah, I really don't care. If he goes out there and has a good job, good job. If he doesn't,
Yeah.
it's a huge step back from.
This is like I'm gonna let him cook first, and then I'm gonna talk.
Just burnt to step back from my people.
Goes out there, gives up an 80-yard touchdown on his first play. He's like 10 yards behind the guy. Coach pulls him immediately. He's like,
I can't go out.
"No, should have left you as the punter."
Dude, I mean, he was a 4-3. He'll be fine. Maybe transition to safety. You understand how you feel about the movement?
Wouldn't it just be so like typical or prophetic if he just turns into barbecue chicken, and then it's just like one giant step back? Like for all the future white cornerbacks who think they have a chance, it's going to be like, oh no, you saw this guy, like I forgot his name, but
We saw what happened last time.
Oh,
It's
man.
unbelievable. Since 2003.
That's crazy.
Insane. I mean, Jason Sehorn somewhere is either proud or he can't pop the champagne anymore. One or the other. I don't know, but it's
It's rough.
I can't believe. I mean, it's amazing. It's literally like you can't play this position if you're white, almost, because you're not athletic enough.
I mean, it's proven.
To be honest, he does have to perform though, because like there probably are like younger.
And everybody's they got their eyes on him.
Yeah, I mean, someone for like other like I guess people on the come up, like other melanin deprived human beings playing the position. And then the college look at him and they're like, "Oh, like, what are you playing?" They're like cornerback, like
You sure you don't play slot?
Sure you can't play quarterback or something?
Yeah. Can't kick the ball,
Can you?
I mean, you can play safety if you want. You got Harrison Smith, but you can't play corner.
Yeah,
That's fair.
We have a hockey team, we did.
I heard lacrosse is pretty fun. Be Chris Hogan.
Always open.
It's up there, man. What a hell of an opening of the show. Spinny, I know we don't talk it enough, and it's my fault because I'm not well versed in it. But I know the World Series is going on right now.
Yeah.
Is there anything, I know the former Detroit Tigers and that bad boy too.
Oh yeah.
Anything you want to speak on before we go to break with that?
It's Dave Dombrowski's 2 wins away from another World Series championship. So that's tough to see as a Tigers fan. You got Nick Castellanos on one side, you got Justin Verlander on the other. It's tough to see when you see all your former GM, a lot of your former players out there performing well and winning World Series. So I don't know, they were tipping pitches last night because the Phillies had 5 home runs in the first 5 innings.
Yeah.
And they weren't small. They were big shots.
Big shots.
The Phillies are undefeated at home this postseason, so they're unstoppable when they play in Philadelphia. They got the power of the fans behind them. Everybody knows about Philly
They're
fans.
starving the team.
Yeah,
they're starving the Astros.
Yeah, they're starving the opposition.
I saw a guy with the sign out there, "Don't feed the Astros" or something like that. But sounds like they could use some help on defense, man.
Yeah, definitely could use some help on defense. And if you need help on defense, all you got to do is call Guardian Alarm. Because Guardian Alarm will keep you safe and give you peace of mind, whether you're at home or on the road. With their 24/7 local monitoring, they make sure the things that are important to you stay safe. All you have to do is call 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Right now, and let them know Woodward Sports sent you. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We'll be right back.
Woodward Sports is giving you another chance to sit front row, this time at the Detroit versus Green Bay game. Think you have the best Dan Campbell impression?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Can you say man with the best of them?
I got it. Here's what I need, man. I need you to trust me. I swear to God, I'm not a lunatic. I swear to you.
Can you say, let's go for it on 4th down?
Man, I got a plan, I swear to you. All I think about is you guys. That's all I think about, man.
Are you a master motivator?
That's all I think about is you guys.
Show us in a video. Record your best Dan Campbell impression and post the video on Twitter or Instagram using hashtag Woodward Front Row. We'll select the best 3 impersonations of Motor City Dan Campbell and send you and a guest front row. So knock the dust off the old sweatpants, light some kneecaps, and enter today. And as always, go Lions, man!
I just need you to trust me. That's all. Please.
I don't care if I got 1 toe, 2 butt cheeks, and a rock.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You can get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Listen, man. You want to watch Green Bay versus Detroit? Front row seats? Just gotta impersonate me. Dan Eugene Campbell III. Record your impersonation of Dan Campbell. Upload it to Instagram and or Twitter. And make sure you use the hashtag Woodward Front Row. And you, along with 2 others, can win a pair of front row seats to Detroit versus Green Bay. Winner will be announced on the 4th of this month. Good luck. And tag me too. I don't watch these things. Man. What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Easy, joined by my man Spin Mo Rex.
What up, dog?
We got Young Sus in the TV booth. Hello. JB Smooth, the 1s and 2s. The Legend Killer. Flannel Sam. Back in the building. And, got a big show for you guys. I forgot to mention we have One Bar and Leviticus.
Yeah.
Join the show from Vikings YouTube. I want to get the Vikings fan and reporter's perspective of the TJ Hawkinson trade. Obviously, I feel like ours is quite divisive in the fan base, quite honestly. Flannel Sam, you're pro TJ to the Vikings, correct?
Oh yeah, I think it was a great trade.
Are you like, great trade or just like good trade because we got rid of TJ? Because
I like our return. I think it was a great trade.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of like the interdivision stuff. That's just that personally for me.
Did you not like when we traded for J-Mo?
I didn't mind that one as much just because like it was a first round pick. We got like Jameson Williams. This one, second round pick, and like we're probably more than likely gonna have to see TJ for a while in the division. There's a couple reasons why. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't mind the TJ Hawkinson trade. Like, I think that makes absolute sense. Mm-hmm. And whatever. Like, the one thing I can dismiss a little bit though is like, oh, you saved $9 million. You don't have to pay him $13 million. With the goal is to draft a rookie quarterback. Why would that matter anyway? Mm-hmm. We could afford to pay him that much if that was the case. But I love the second and third round. I don't like it being within the division just because the Detroit Lions are the Detroit Lions. Since like 1957, they've been just cursed almost, man. I mean,
so you don't think the regime is any different?
This regime was the same one that traded away Matthew Stafford, and then Matthew Stafford then won a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So, like, those fourth-round picks...
What does that equate to at all?
Well, because, again, I'm telling you, like, this is the Detroit Lions organization. Like, any type of move they make, it somehow ends up backfiring and backslapping them across the face. Like, that fourth-round pick, very well... 2 fourth-round picks, very possibly, can end up being guys that just, like, demolish and destroy us, like, and haunt us for years.
You don't think the second and third-round picks can be...
That's the
people
hope,
that
right?
demolish and destroy the Vikings?
That's the hope, right? I mean, the other part, too, is, like, TJ Hawkinson we are notoriously bad against like tight ends. Like we every week before every game, we're like, start this tight end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Will Dissly will win.
Will Dissly's a baller, bro.
He is, bro. But like we're awful against tight ends, and maybe we address that with those picks. Very possible. I think the other part you look at too is like our offense. Say what you want, it's not the same as like I guess Kyle Shanahan versus Sean McVay because he taught him the game, but you know they get a big chunk of our offense as well. A little inside trading there with that, and then. But I mean, there's the plus side of the picks. Like the trade wasn't bad. It's just the interdivision stuff that I'm not that much of a fan of, in my opinion. But I mean, you got the second and third, and hopefully you're balling with it. I mean, we shall see.
We gonna see.
We are gonna see. But anyway, we have one bar coming on to talk about that one. Brad Holmes spoke about that today. I don't know if we uploaded any video, but at a certain point, he did say that this trade would have most likely happened even if we were 6-1. It was kind of like.
I don't think that's true.
Is that cap?
Yeah, I think that's cap. If you're 6-1, you're trading 4 pieces. You're not trading away pieces. And I understand them wanting to get out of the contract, get out of that $9 million when they don't have the cap to flex that. They need some help on the defensive side of the ball. But if you're 6-1, that means your defense isn't terrible. So you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about paying players on the defensive side of the ball. I think Brad Holmes is capping a little bit on that one. If you're 6-1, you make a trade to better your team. You don't sell at the trade deadline; you buy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a little bit of a cap.
Sam, what was your take on this one? You think he's capping?
Oh, I think there's a 0.00000% chance he'd make this trade if they were 6-1. I mean, 6-1, honestly, for the Lions, that sounds like fantasy land. When's the last time they've been 6-1 and looking towards the playoffs? But anywho, one of the reasons they got rid of him was because they wanted to look towards the future. You want to save some cap space. You wanted some extra draft capital. You wanted some cheap, when you get draft picks, they're on rookie contracts and everything, and that's kind of how you build. If TJ Hawkinson, even if you were putting up these same numbers on a winning team, you would have a much better team around him, and TJ Hawkinson would have a role, and maybe in that role, you wouldn't mind paying him. But the fact of the matter is they're 1-6, they're bottoming out, they have the worst record in the NFL, which is an absolute embarrassment, and at some point, you just gotta, what are you gonna do with him? Do you want to pay him? Are you gonna win with him? I honestly think Brock Wright and James Mitchell can combine for 4 receptions and 42 yards in a game because that's usually what you're getting from TJ Hawkinson. Let's just be honest. I mean, I actually found an interesting stat. I dug this up right before the show. TJ Hawkinson has played 47 games in his Lions career. He has more than 60, that's not a lot, receiving yards in 12 of them. 12 out of 47, he's had more than 60 yards in a game. That's not elite. That's barely even good. That's mid. That's what the numbers say. You can love his talent, but he hasn't produced. And the Lions haven't won with him here. Get rid of him, get some draft picks. There's nothing wrong with the trade, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, my whole problem is like the interdivision stuff, and I'm not cool with it. And then I guess this part too, you can look at how you want. If you think that the Vikings are more likely going to win the division, correct? Spinney, Sam, JB. Well, that
especially with the Packers not doing anything in the trade deadline.
For sure, that second round pick holds. It is still a second round pick, but holds a little bit less value because it's going to fall further into the draft at that point too. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. It's like Lions luck. Trade away Matthew Stafford, dude goes to Super Bowl, you get the 32nd overall pick. Now, Brad Holmes, a G, because he then flipped that into the 13th overall pick or 12th overall pick, I apologize, and draft Jameson Williams. But, same case scenario, it's just easy to picture happening to the Detroit Lions with these picks as well, on top of just TJ getting that offense over to those guys. And let's be honest, we've said it before on the show too. We're not going to compete until 2024 anyway, so I guess it's not that big of a deal. As long as they swing and miss on those 4th rounders, I'm cool with it.
Yeah,
I'm not really tripping on it. But to Brad Holmes' point, he said he would have made the same deal if they were 6-1. Everything that you just said, Flano Sam, still applies if they're 6-1. And TJ Hawkinson in my mind isn't mid. I think he's still for sure a top 10 tight end. I mean, the stats would say that as well. If you compare him against other tight ends, tight ends aren't. Outside of Kittle, Kelsey, Waller when he was healthy,
Mark Andrews,
no one else is really putting up 100-yard games. It's just it's a rare. It doesn't happen often.
So that's another reason of why I like the trade, because, like you said, no tight ends outside of the 4 that you named are special. TJ Hawkinson is not special. So I don't feel like paying a guy who is not special $14 million on a rebuild is a good idea.
I think he'd be special in the right situation. I mean, I don't know that we utilize him to his full potential all the time. He really, too, like that's one of the reasons I hate the Eric Ebron comparisons. Like, we're bringing up Eric Ebron's stats from when he played alongside Calvin Johnson. Oh, he had Matthew Stafford as quarterback as well. Where T.J. Hawkinson, his first 2 years, dealing with Jeff Driscoll, frickin' whoever the hell the other guy was, probably not even in the league anymore. And then, okay, 1 year Stafford goes to the Pro Bowl, and then Jared Goff. I'm saying, like, it's... And even then, TJ's beating him, or at least tied with what his numbers were in Detroit. Talking about Eric Ebron's in 9 less games too. Like, this is not a comparison. But to Brad Holmes' point, though, he would have made the trade whether it's 6 or 1. I don't think he's capping. I think if you the same way that Flannel Sam said, though, this offense can get running without him. It's still true. I'm saying if we're 6 and 1, I mean, we aren't a couple plays away from being 6 and 1, but we're a couple plays away from at least being like 500. You know what I'm saying? And what still at that point like makes TJ expendable. If long term you didn't plan on paying him, if you didn't feel he was a special guy, why not get extra draft compensation for him? I mean, the Denver Broncos, as poopy as they've looked, they're still kind of like on it, and they got rid of Bradley Chubb. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the long run, I guess. Like, I
don't think the
it makes
Broncos
sense.
would have got rid of Bradley Chubb if they were winning games. If Russell Wilson wasn't a
you look like Russell Wilson
complete failure. Yeah.
For sure. And the Detroit Lions, too, the different scenario from the Broncos, though, because, like, we're not all in on Jared Goff. The Detroit Lions aren't. I mean, there are fans that think so. There thought so at one point. A certain YouTuber that thinks that too. He thinks he's a top 10 quarterback. But that just never was the case. No. Brad Holmes has quite literally spoken publicly about acquiring quarterbacks. He said if there was a guy there in last year's draft,
he'd take him.
I would have grabbed him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think we're a different scenario with that as well. As like, no one really on this team was part of the future, maybe outside of that offensive line. And it was a one tradable piece. That's probably the piece you're getting the most calls on. That's I don't think he was a cabin. You said.
Yeah, I just want to respond to one thing. You say if they're 6 and 1, that they might still be looking at T.J. Hawkinson as somebody who's not going to be a part of their future.
Yeah.
If you're 6 and 1 and you're an organization, you're thinking Super Bowl this year, and us as Lions fans, as residents of Detroit, we're not used to that feeling. You're thinking Super Bowl this year. To hell with the future. So if the Lions were 6 and 1 and T.J. Hawkinson were even putting up the same numbers he is this year, they would be looked at differently. That 8 catches for 179-yard monster game he had would hopefully be in a win, and it would be looked at differently. And that's the thing. The future be damned. I think we would all take a Super Bowl and then a few years of crap. It would be more of an all-in situation than a let's get draft picks for the future situation.
Yeah, I can't argue that, but I also would have to admit I don't think anybody, maybe outside that particular YouTuber, would believe the Detroit Lions are going to the Super Bowl.
But if they were 6 and 1, you would.
Yes.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter who you are.
Super Bowl.
It doesn't matter how you got there. If you're 6 and 1, even the New York Giants fans and their organization, they're thinking Super Bowl this year because you have a shot if you're 6 and 1. You're very, very likely to make the playoffs if you're 6 and 1. 6 and 1 is a big effing deal.
Yeah, if you're 6 and 1, you buy. You don't sell.
I guess I look back to that 2013 season where the Detroit Lions started out like red hot, and I think they're they had maybe up to 10 wins at the time. They ended up going to the playoffs, but the rest of that season, we actually started seeing teams above 500 that belonged to the playoffs straight 7 or 8 losses, and then we went to Seattle and got our asses kicked. 6 and 1, yeah. For me to feel comfortable staying Super Bowl, I need to see towards the end of the season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But tell us about Big Boy, because we got to ask our guy One Bar what the Vikings Nation's feeling about this trade.
Yeah, how he feels about that T.J. Hawkins pick.
Yeah.
Well, at Big Boy, for a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries are back. It's not the Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease, and guess what else is new? The Bacon Blue. What about upgrading those fries? They got chili cheese fries, they got nacho fries, and baked potato fries. So make sure you go check them out and satisfy your taste buds at Big Boy.
Oh, snap.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports is giving you another chance to sit front row, this time at the Detroit versus Green Bay game. Think you have the best Dan Campbell impression?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Can you say man with the best of them?
I got it. Here's what I need, man. I need you to trust me. I swear to God, I'm not a lunatic. I swear to you.
Can you say, let's go for it on 4th down?
Man, I got a plan, I swear to you. All I think about is you guys. That's all I think about, man.
Are you a master motivator?
That's all I think about is you guys.
Show us in a video. Record your best Dan Campbell impression and post the video on Twitter or Instagram using hashtag Woodward Front Row. We'll select the best 3 impersonations of Motor City Dan Campbell and send you and a guest front row. So knock the dust off the old sweatpants, light some kneecaps, and enter today. And as always, go Lions, man.
I just need you to trust me. That's all. Please.
I don't care if I got one toe, 2 butt cheeks, and a rock.
Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Spotless, sanitized rooms with trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals where they beat all competitors by $5. $5? $5, y'all. Listen, go pick up Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Caltan, or Swedish Beauty Lotions. ChiliPeppersTanning.com, the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans, 27 locations, and more coming.
Chili Peppers Tan?
One thing that really irks me, man, all right, one thing that really irked me about that game, that preseason game, is we let it go, man. We let it go. And you know what? Was that them or us? Wait, don't answer that. I gave you the answer. I messed up. I'm sorry. That was us. That was us. We gave it away. All right? Now look at this fist. I control this fist. When I make this fist, who makes that fist? I do. I control it. All right?
And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off. All right?
Man, I care about you guys so much.
Had to let go of AP. I wish him the best, him and his family, but business is business. Aaron Glenn, you might be next on the list. Rodrigo, keep being a stud out there. You're doing what you're doing, Rob. Catch the balls when you need to. Hutch, stop smiling.
Hutch, man, I told you to dry clean these after the presentation, okay? Look at these. These are clean. You dry cleaned them already.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live at WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Easy, joined by my man Spin Morax.
What up, though?
That is the impersonations of Dan Campbell. That you guys are, that's your competition. So if you guys, I see you in the Woodward Sports chat, you say that stuff stinks.
Yeah, you say
if you think you do better, submit your video. You're getting front row tickets for it. But we are joined.
The first one was good.
The first one was pretty good.
See this fist? I made that fist.
My guy, Matt Falk, One Bar. For the One Bar on his YouTube channel for the Minnesota Vikings.
Close enough, man. Close enough.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
What's up, man? How'd you feel about those Dan Campbell impersonations?
That's actually genius. I got to do that for some Viking. I got to do that contest because that's beautiful. I want to submit my Dan Campbell.
Can you do one now? Yeah, you want to do one now?
Want me to do some up downs back here or what?
Yeah.
Take my shirt off. I'm not wearing my shirt if I do it.
There you go. That's what it's all about. We might get flagged for nudity, but it's all right. We can deal with that. So I have the first question. I think, obviously we're going to get right into it about the trade. TJ Hawkinson going to Minnesota. My first question, it's really the one thing that explains it to me, is TJ Hawkinson kind of looks like a Viking. So do you think that's why Minnesota went out there and targeted him and brought him in?
He's a new mascot.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt that's why they threw in another pick just to make sure. You're absolutely right. This guy was made. He was born to be a Viking, man. He looks just like the logo. It's beautiful.
Matt, in all seriousness, no, Lions fans, we seem divided on the trade. A lot of us don't like the interdivision trade, but How is it looking on the Vikings front? How do you feel personally about the trade? Like, who do you think won, and I guess everything about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to be on the Vikings side and not get excited about this. We're 6-1. We need everything we can. We need all the weapons we can. The funny part is Hawkinson was never even mentioned. I mean, the Vikings were Brandon Cooks, other receivers, but Hawkinson never was. So it was a complete shock to Viking world and Vikings fans. If they say otherwise, they're full of it. But to add another piece to this team, generally, what gets me the most excited is Vikings lately have been making trades when they're not good and they're trying to get good. So the fact that they add this piece to it, and along with our defense that it seems to be a little suspect, we're gonna have to score as many points as possible. Irv Smith has that high ankle sprain; he's gonna be out for a while. So it's tough not to get excited about it. So I definitely love the trade. The best part about it is the salary cap. I mean, we're not paying him much this year. They're gonna have to figure some stuff out next year and whatever his future holds. But I love it. I love everything about it. We haven't used our tight end much. Irv Smith has been a little bit of a bust, and he's hurt again. So it's awesome. He's gonna be our number 2 option right off the bat, right behind Jefferson. There's no doubt.
Yeah, and I also want to talk about the interdivision trading. That's the second trade the Lions and Vikings have made this year. Obviously, the first one was on draft day. The Lions traded with the Vikings to move up and get a guy that was widely thought of as the best receiver in the draft in Jameson Williams. He hasn't been on the field yet to show that acumen, but are you comfortable with that? A lot of people, I'm not on that camp. I think if you can get the best deal, you go get the best deal. I don't care who it's. I don't care if it's your neighbor or whatever. Just not the Packers. But are you cool with them trading with the Lions like that multiple times in a season, or does it not really bother you?
It's different for me because, like, if it was a player, if it was like a player that we loved, it was younger, and we traded him, I'd feel differently. Like with the Vikings so far, we've just traded draft picks, and yeah, you're going to get players, and I'm sure Williams is going to be fantastic. But it's a little bit different because you don't have that emotional tie to him. So from my side, I could care less. I mean, the Lions, everything I'm seeing, the Lions are kind of getting hit with, like, why would you do this trade? Why would you do it? But not to be like a dick by any means, but like if I'm the Lions, I would look at this like I wouldn't care, because even if Hawkinson comes out and rips us a new one the next year or two, it's not like he's dashing your Super Bowl dreams.
Yeah.
It's like you guys are going to be in the midst of getting better, getting draft picks. So it's kind of like the perfect scenario for me. So I think the Lions actually made out pretty well on this.
Yeah. Do you think the Lions got fleeced in this one? Do you think like it's like who won the trade in your eyes?
Well, that'll be determined in about 5 years to see who you guys get. But I mean, right off the bat, the thing that wouldn't sit, the one thing that wouldn't sit well with me if I'm the Lions is the draft picks. If the Vikings can keep this up, do the math. I mean, it's going to be a later 2nd round pick. On the other side of that, it looks like it's going to be probably a really early 4th round pick. So initially, the Vikings will win. There's no way around it. But long term, we'll see. I would say the Vikings will win it if they somehow figure out to keep Hawkinson here more than 1-2 years. But they're going to have to pay him after 2 years, and that's where it'll get dicey.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to ask about. Hawkinson does have next year. He's got an option, his 5th-year option. It's $9.3 million. But after that, he's looking at contracts. People call him a top 10 tight end in the league, possibly top 5 if he's used correctly. So he's looking at a $13-14 million a year contract. Would you be willing, or would you like to see your franchise go out there, spend the money on him, and have him be a Viking long term?
Well, we'll see. I mean, right now, Kirk Cousins is here for a couple more years, too, and they appear to be completely all in this year. So if it fails this year or next year, it's just a complete crap show. No, I don't see them also dishing out a bunch of money to a 27, 28-year-old tight end. So this could be a 2-year rental. I mean, we'll see where we're at. I'd love to say that we're going to be a couple Super Bowls deep, but we all know that probably isn't going to happen.
Yeah, cap space isn't like a real thing anyway. I'll never forget the New Orleans Saints were like in debt this season, and then they sign Andy Dalton, another guard. Like
they cut a bunch of people.
I don't even think they do it. They just rearrange the money. Like it's the cap situation is even the Rams. Look what they did too. They're cap strapped. They're like, re-sign Stafford. Yeah. All right, Allen Robinson, you can join the super team now too. Like,
Bobby Wagner, we'll take you too.
Yeah. Just like what? Like I just don't even know if I believe in the cap anymore. But how much of an upgrade do you see T.J. Hawkinson being over an Irv Smith, and how you see it affecting the other guys like Dalvin Cook and maybe Adam Thielen now too. Well, obviously Justin Jefferson, but he's going to ball either way.
Yeah, Thielen's he's starting to show his age a little bit. I mean, it's not like he's bad by any means, but like I said, I think Hockenson comes in and will be that number 2 receiving option. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but he appears to be a pretty decent blocker as well, which will help a lot. So I think it will be a big upgrade. Irv, they've been throwing him the ball. I mean, he hasn't done fantastic. They've only thrown to the tight end like 20% of the time or something. They rank like 20-something with that, so hopefully they're getting more looks. But I think it will upgrade the offense quite a bit, and I'm not just drinking the purple Kool-Aid. I mean, we got Johnny Munt at tight end, so it's a huge upgrade. I mean, like I said, ask me again in a couple years to see who you guys get with these picks.
Yeah, that was the Hockenson truthers in Detroit are saying he wasn't used correctly in Detroit. He was never let free. It was never Hawkins season, and we saw Kirk Cousins doesn't favor his tight ends. We saw Kyle Rudolph's production decrease a lot when Kirk Cousins was introduced as the starter. We see, Irv Smith, when healthy, when in there, he doesn't get as much action. Like you said, 20% of the time they're being targeted in passes. Are you nervous at all if Kirk Cousins will use his shiny new toy enough, or if they'll be able to kind of unlock Hockenson as a player?
Those guys aren't Hawk.
Yeah, I mean,
you said Irv Smith was better than Hawk.
I'm not going to let the stats get in the way. We need a big red zone target. If this helps open things up for Dalvin Cook in the running game, play action, this helps open things up for our third receiver, KJ Osborne. It might be some things like that behind the scenes. We'll see. I mean, clearly I want him to put up some numbers and get some touchdowns and scare the crap out of opposing linebackers and stuff. But I'm not going to let the stats get me, because I do know, I mean, even Kevin O'Connell has never really talks up his tight end. So, which again makes this trade even more surprising when it happened.
Yeah, I guess real quick too before we let you go, how are you feeling about the Kevin O'Connell hire now? You guys are 6-1 heading into the season, number 1 in the NFC North. The future look bright? Or you guys, because you guys had some close ones too. I know, a couple clutch turnovers for you guys led to victories. You had the close one against the Saints and Andy Dalton. Obviously, the close one against us and at your place. You still feel how you feel about Kevin O'Connell so far?
Hey man, 6-1, you can't complain. The Vikings, whoever their coach is, it's always going to come down to the end. That's why we're all bald. That's why we're all raging alcoholics, because that's just the way it is. The thing with Kevin O'Connell, he hasn't really faced much adversity yet. He hasn't had that gross blowout loss or gone on 2 or 3 losing games in a row. So that's where we're going to really see the true colors. But it's tough not to get excited. I do got to mention your boy Flannel Sam really knocked me down a few pegs on some of those Hockenson stats. So that wasn't very polite.
Yeah, it's
he's a legend killer.
If you look at just the stats, it's pretty comparable to Logan Thomas and Brandon Pettigrew. But I do think he's a better player than those guys. Year. But so is Hawkinson's. But you look at
Hockenson proved to be better though.
From an outsider's perspective, I just want to get this out of you before we let you go. Dan Campbell, first season kind of went as expected. Rookie head coach, didn't have a lot around him. Kind of a disaster. And this year it's looking similar. It looks like they're making the same mistakes. If this was your head coach, if this was your team, your franchise, would you be calling for Dan Campbell's head? Would you want to see him come back for another year, or what would you do if that was your head coach?
Man, if that's my head coach, I don't think I'd ever want to see him leave. And we had the similar coach with Mike Tice, and everybody loved Tice. So I mean, you can kind of compare the two, but especially after watching Hard Knocks, how can you not love this guy? It would be very, very tough. He would be yanking on my heartstrings. So as of now, I wouldn't be calling for his head yet. I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, has he had a fair chance?
The roster's not great. Especially on defense. I'll give him that.
Yeah, so I would honestly probably give him another year. I mean, let him do it again. But he's, like I said, he's a tough guy not to love. Out there doing the workouts with him, and Hard Knocks has a lot to do with it because everybody loves him. I don't know. Is everybody wanting him Gonzo?
Some
people are calling for
but
it.
It's a microwave generation. You know how people are these days.
I want it now. You got to give him I hate when coaches get fired after 2 years, even 3 years. I mean, let that stuff play out. I mean, if it's a complete disaster, that's one thing. But I don't know. I hope to see him in the division longer.
Yeah, I agree.
It's because you beat us.
It's because you beat us. I would too if I was not.
Hey, you guys will get us in the next game. I bet you will. I mean, it always.
I like that.
Did give him his first win.
Not going to get a touchdown against you, but you might get the dub.
We might get. All right. Well, we appreciate you for joining us, man. Before we let you go, shout out your channel, shout out what you're doing, where people can find you, and if they want to keep tabs with the Hawken experience in Minnesota, where they can listen to you.
Yeah, you guys come on after his first horrible game, and we say how it is. So
yeah.
Hit us up on YouTube, One Bar and Lupagus Show. On YouTube, we're doing a daily Viking show. We're going live tonight. We drink some beers. We're very realistic. We don't drink a ton of purple Kool-Aid. We just drink a little bit.
There you
and
go.
I gotta say, after your intro talking about Cinemax and those two lovely ladies, I might have a busy night by myself tonight.
Hell yeah! That's all I like to hear, brother. Let's go.
Thanks,
all right,
Matt.
well, we appreciate you. That is Matt Falk of the One
Speaking
Bar
of beating
and
your
Lupagus
meat.
Show, all about the Vikings. Great to have him on for a second time.
Speaking of being your meat, Spinny, how about you tell us about the butcher?
Well, if you want quality meat, all you got to do is go to the butchery, because the official meat supplier of the Woodward Sports Network is the butchery. Call 248-682-COWS. Yes, that's 248-682-COWS, or order online at thebutcherysl.com. Shipping included for Woodward Sports customers. The butchery, meats, eats, and treats. Sandwiches to die for, Wagyu meats and artisan breads inspired by the legend Chef Dave. Only the best for our meat-loving customers.
Meat to meat.
An old-school butcher shop from a new-school perspective. So give them a call. Again, 248-682-COWS.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Swiss Insurance Officers Protection is where it's at. Are you coach? Are you part of your homeowners association? You need that officer's protection to help your kids and parents volunteering to help you guys out. Call our guy Mark at Swiss Insurance.
And you need your ad reads. That's what you need.
Where to go, Jordan? Where to go? What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Easy, joined by my man Spin Morat.
What up, though?
That young Sussex TV booth. JB Smooth, the ones and twos, and Flannel Sam joining us, the legend killer as always. Flannel, I know you didn't have your headset in, but he said you killed his vibe a little bit out of TJ Hawkinson with some of the stats you put out there.
I mean, they're just the numbers. Who's to say that the Vikings won't use him a little bit better? I don't know. The history with Kirk Cousins shows that they won't. But the facts are the facts. TJ Hawkinson, just by the numbers, and when you're when you're the number 8 overall pick tight end, you're actually expected to put up numbers. They're mid. I don't want to hear all about, they're not using him correctly, they're not getting him the ball, he's opening things up for others. When TJ Hawkinson was drafted to be elite, he's not Kittle, he's not Kelsey, he's not Mark Andrews, he's not even Kyle Pitts. What TJ Hawkinson is Dallas Goedert on a losing team. Dallas Goedert on a losing team. That's all TJ Hawkinson is, which is why if the Lions were winning, we could frame him a little bit differently. But ever since he's been on the Lions, they've been 3-12-1, 6-10, 3-13-1, and now 1-6. Abysmal. Not all Hawkinson's fault, but what's his role on the team then?
Yeah.
I can't.
Dallas Goedert's a good call.
I can't get with the mid part of it though, because by the numbers, he's top 10. He's not elite. You're 100% right. He was drafted to be elite, and he's not elite, but he's not mid.
Again, by the numbers,
he's top 10.
Not a lot of tight ends are elite. Not a lot of tight ends are good.
For sure.
So after those top 4, they're all pretty much the same.
Well, no, not really. He's within top 10. It's again, there's levels to this.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying he's
like the Logan, like the you and Neil on the Logan Thomas stuff is like wild. Like that was 1 year. Like 1 year doesn't make a yeah, okay, that doesn't make a career comparison though. The following years afterward, TJ's killing whatever the hell he's produced. It was like 180 yards. Dude only played 12 games since then. Like it's not even you can't make a career comparison based off of 1 year. It's just not even like logical.
I mean, when it's basically the only year that you've played completely healthy, I think it's fair.
You can't because everything else still exists. You can't. The same way you can take like people like the first 2 years, and then even within those first 2 years, Hawk's numbers are killing Eric Ebron's. Try to make those comparisons. What's the point you're making? That Hawk was better than Eric Ebron because you take those first 2 years, Hawk is better at everything.
But to be fair, the gap between Eric Ebron or TJ Hawkinson and Eric Ebron isn't quite what you think it is. They have the same amount of 700-yard seasons for the Lions. Brandon Pettigrew has more 700-yard seasons for the Lions than TJ Hawkinson. To be fair, he probably would have gotten it this year, but he's not going to get it with the Lions. The numbers say TJ Hawkinson has been mid, and even if he is
not mid, the numbers say he's top 10.
But what does it mean to be top 10?
Yeah, top 10 in
it
tight
means
ends
you're top 10.
is not much. Top 10 in tight end is not much.
Top 10 in everything. Top 10 in anything is top 10.
Not really. You just said yourself that not a lot of tight ends go for 100 yards a game.
I said that because the argument is people are trying to be like, well, these have to be 100-yard games. Not many tight ends in general have 100-yard games.
Not many tight ends are elite.
In terms, I'm not saying he's elite, but he's top 10. He's not mid. That's the thing. We got a second and third for him for a reason because he's not mid. He's a good tight end. Has he been in shitty situations here in Detroit? Absolutely. Is he elite? No, but he's not mid. He's not Logan Thomas. He's Brandon Pettigrew, by the way. Hell of an underrated career as a Detroit Lions tight end. Matthew Stafford utilized the hell out of him, and he for sure probably is the Lions best tight end in terms of my lifetime for sure, without a doubt. But all the other comparisons are just, in my opinion, just wild. Again, top 10 guys. Just he's not elite. Yes, I agree to that. But the mid stuff, stop. Get some help. Even if you look at the numbers too, you want categorize it by top 10. Even look at the games played and the fact that he's still in there within the top 10 with touchdowns, yards, and stuff like that is all right.
So I don't know if this is fantasy or not.
We looking for Logan Thomas?
No, I'm looking for power ranking. This is just power rankings. It's not fantasy.
Okay.
TJ Hawkinson is ranked 8th. He's below Pat Freiermuth, Will Dissly, Zach Ertz, and ahead of Tyler Higbee, Tyler Conklin.
So for fantasy football?
This is power rankings. It's not fantasy football.
Oh, I thought I heard you say fantasy football before that.
No, I said, is it fantasy? And it's not. It's just power rankings.
Tyler Conklin over TJ Hawkinson?
No, he's under him.
Tyler's my boy.
Tyler's under him.
Okay.
I said he's below 10 is Tyler Conklin, 9 is Tyler Higbee.
And what publication is this?
Hawkinson is 8. This is NFL.com. Hawkinson is 8. Freiermuth 7, Will Dissly 6, Zach Ertz 5, Dallas Goedert 4, Njoku 3, Andrews 2, Kelsey 1.
Top 10. That
doesn't impress me.
My only thing is just
that doesn't
the
impress
mid
me.
conversations is just wild to me. It's not this. That's not the case. Not the scenario. Dude's good when he plays. Dude's good when he's utilized.
Solid.
We've seen it.
He's not worth $14 million a year.
We'll see. I'd rather pay him 14 than I pay a Christian Kirk level wide receiver 25.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that either.
You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't do either.
That's where there's a value in the four. And by the way,
I would also draft a
we've
tight
already
end
been
that
over
can
this.
Put up 40 yards and you're paying him $2 million.
As much as
a year.
we love to talk cap space on this network, no one's ever actually on a 14 per year deal. It's 5 here, 6 here, 7 here, 11 here. Then we get to the 14s, the 15s, and by then that guy's cut.
Well, he's making $9 million. He would be making $9 million a year next
for sure.
year.
But I'm talking about the 14 per conversation
average,
that everyone's trying to have.
Yeah, at 14.
Yeah, but it's not the average. It's not the way these contracts are built. We all know that they're backloaded. As much as we love to talk cap space, that just for some reason seems to get glossed over every single time.
I think with his production and what he's done, you can draft a tight end in the 4th or 5th round and have him put up equal numbers for a third of the price.
You'd hope so, right? I mean, you got the extra draft capital now to do so.
Well, James Mitchell, we'll see what he does in his first game as a starter.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of pressure on him now too.
He had a nice play.
They don't even we've seen this offense like work without TJ. So like that's why I'm not tripping on like he's gone at this point. I'm not boo-hooing over him being gone. I'm not. The only beef I ever had with the trade at all was just it being within the division. But time will tell. Brad Holmes, we see him hit some home run picks. His second round picks, and only one of those is like prevailing so far. Third round picks, he had 2 of them in the first draft. William Neal worked out, not so much with Iffy. So I mean, we'll see.
Kirby Joseph looks pretty good though.
Kirby Joseph does look pretty good, and it actually leads into our next topic. We did a mailbag for the first time ever on Woodward Heavyweights Twitter. I think we're gonna start doing that more often. But we put it out there. We asked, do you think the Detroit Lions have found their safety duo or trio in this case, because we run like a 4-2 with Kirby Joseph, Elliott, and Tracy Walker?
Yeah, I think so. I think they could even probably cut Deshaun Elliott if Tracy Walker is, comes back healthy and doesn't miss a step. I like what Kirby Joseph has done aside from his first performance. I like what Kirby Joseph has brought to that defense. And I always talk about watching him at Illinois. I knew that's what he was. He was a ball hawk. He gets after the ball. We've seen that. He has, 2 dropped interceptions already, 2 forced fumbles.
Yeah.
We went over his coverage stats yesterday about him playing great coverage, only allowing 3 catches for 27 yards or something like that. So I'm happy with it. If Tracy Walker can come back healthy, hopefully doesn't miss a step or doesn't lose a step, yeah, I'm cool with that.
Damn, this breaks. We gotta go commercial already.
Well, I mean, we just talked about Hawkinson for the first 10 minutes.
That's cool. Tell us about Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone, where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. The gym that has always been known for being clean is now cleaner than ever. They have tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of this for just $10 a month. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Woodward Sports is giving you another chance to sit front row, this time at the Detroit versus Green Bay game. Think you have the best Dan Campbell impression?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Can you say man with the best of them?
I got it. Here's what I need, man. I need you to trust me. I swear to God, I'm not a lunatic. I swear to you.
Can you say, let's go for it on 4th down?
Man, I got a plan, I swear to you. All I think about is you guys. That's all I think about, man.
Are you a master motivator?
That's all I think about is you guys.
Show us in a video. Record your best Dan Campbell impression and post the video on Twitter or Instagram using hashtag Woodward Front Row. We'll select the best 3 impersonations of Motor City Dan Campbell and send you and a guest front row. So knock the dust off the old sweatpants, light some kneecaps, and enter today. And as always, go Lions, man.
I just need you to trust me. That's all. Please.
I don't care if I got 1 toe, 2 butt cheeks, and a rock.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
At Alta,
Uptime
matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. You got a bog project coming up? Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. Again, that's 844-GO-TO-ALTA. Alta Rent, where
uptime
matters. I threw you the oop. What's up with the delay there?
Huh? Dude,
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. Be a friend, tell a friend, and share the stream. Got my boy Spinmo Rex.
What up, though?
I'm Easy. We got
Plugging it
Young
out.
Sus in the TV booth. JB Smooth, the 1 to 2s, and the Legend Killer, Flannel Sam. Back from his. How many buys you catch while you're gone?
0.
Should have caught at least one.
Zero.
I almost just spit water all over my.
I know we're talking about the TJ Hawkins and stuff all day today, but Brad Holmes spoke on it. Dan Campbell spoke on it. I did have this in the prep, and I do want to get to it because I do think it brings up some interesting conversations. But Dan Campbell today semi said that some parts in the Detroit Lions offensive game may have gotten better without Hawk. Now, I took that as like individually, statistically, it gets better, but do you think he meant it like quite literally, like in terms of?
I don't know. I'm starting to like really get off the deep end with Dan Campbell.
I'm
not feeling it anymore.
Yeah.
Like these past couple press conferences they've been so bad to me.
He's always been that though.
Yeah, but
it's just when you're losing.
When you don't have answers for what you're doing.
When
he fired Aubrey Pleasant, he was like, we'll see how it gets better. Maybe they'll listen to a new guy more. I was like, dude. He's like, sometimes you just got to shake it up. And I was like, oh my God. And then I forget the one yesterday where he was talking that was awful too. And this one, things will get better. No, they're not. That's not true. You can't make me believe that things in this offense will get better by losing your number one tight end.
Yeah.
Maybe, dude, I have no idea.
I don't understand how to get better either.
Maybe Amon-Ra gets 15 targets a game rather than 10 now. I understand it from.
Shout out my fantasy team.
They don't need a big tight end presence when you have a slot receiver eating up a lot of those targets. You have a back out of the backfield that eats up a lot of those targets in the mid and short range game. So maybe that's what he's talking about, that DeAndre Swift, who wasn't ready, that was the other one. We used DeAndre Swift too much. You gave him 5 carries, man. If you can't handle 5 carries, he shouldn't have been on the field.
Yeah.
But
people are bitching about that too. Like, he doesn't want to play. He's hurt.
He's
bro.
hurt, yeah.
Yeah, what do you expect?
Can't complain about that. But yeah, I really have nothing to. Can't wrap my mind around it. I really can't. It doesn't make sense.
Today though, he did. Let me inform you this or preface you on this. He did say, I'm not going to give away the game plan. That's the way. But I mean, what do you want him to do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying
I understand. Yeah, you can't go out there and say, we're going to suck now. We lost a big piece.
That too.
You can't do that.
Yeah, that's the same thing when people were like bitching about the Brad Holmes retooling versus like Sheila saying we're tearing stuff down. Like both Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are responsible for the morale and I guess for that locker room. You know what I'm saying? It's like if they were to like openly go out there outside of a bad performance and just rip them, like they're shit. We're screwed.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't fear the loss of TJ Hawkins, which I don't see it being that big of a drop from this offense.
I don't either.
I think Brock Wright or James Mitchell or Shane Zylstra or one of those guys can go out there and catch 4 balls for 40 yards. I think they can. So I don't see it hampering the offense that much.
I didn't watch the Miami game back on all 22, but I watched it back like the broadcast version. I know that on the DeAndre Swift touchdown, TJ was like a part of that because there was extra attention on him. Like,
well, maybe then they'll pay extra attention to DeAndre Swift, and James Mitchell will be open for a fade.
Or to be honest, it's kind of fair to pay extra attention to like running backs. That's why Swift is so valuable. You can't really double team a guy out of the backfield. You're to burn yourself. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about Dan Campbell's comments in terms of the offense getting quote unquote better?
I think you guys mentioned a couple things that are important. One, Dan Campbell's seemingly like incoherent babble, his lack of answers for why they lost, why Aubrey Pleasant was fired, I think is a major problem. And I think as a coach, you also have to be a little bit better of a mouthpiece. This stuff doesn't work when you're losing. It just doesn't. It makes you kind of seem a little bit, for lack of a better term, a little like meat-headed-ish. It just does. I know it's not, you don't want to hear it, but it's true. But on the other hand, I don't think T.J. Hawkinson's absence is really going to be that big of a deal. I mean, with him in the lineup, they were 1-6, and he had one great game, and then last week he actually played pretty well, had that 58-yard catch. But other than that, he hasn't done a whole lot. I think James Mitchell, Brock Wright, they can combine for 4 catches for 42 yards, like I said earlier, and also the elite of the elite tight ends, or even kind of the next tier, like the Dallas Goederts or the Dawson Knoxes, they're sort of either used as primary targets like a Travis Kelce or Mark Andrews or George Kittle, or like a safety blanket, like a Dallas Goedert, or a red zone threat like Dawson Knox. The Lions and Jared Goff kind of already have one of those, and his name is Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's kind of all of it. He's the safety blanket, the favorite target, oftentimes the red zone threat, especially last year. Caught the game-winning touchdown pass, was a touchdown machine. That's kind of how I look at it. As on one hand, there is a problem with Dan Campbell's sort of lack of answers and eloquence, but is T.J. Hawkinson going to hurt this team? His loss going to hurt this team that much? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I really don't. It's like Sam said, the other tight ends. I think how the Lions should use their tight end going forward, because they have a guy like Amon-Ra St. Brown, who, as Sam said, is the safety valve as well as the most targeted receiver. They're going to get Jameson Williams back eventually, who will be, hopefully, who will be a deep threat, who will be the guy that can take the top off the defense. They could use their tight end as kind of, I don't want to say a gimmick, but like scripted plays. Like, this is the tight end wheel route, or this is the, he's going to be open because we're running trips on the other side, and we run the tight end slant on, something like that, to where the Detroit Lions don't have to feel the pressure of needing to force the ball into their tight end, and they just give him his 1, 2, 3 plays a game, to where that play is suited around him getting the ball.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that he wasn't utilized more in this offense because of like everything we discussed we went over that Ted Wynn article, where they'd have that 13 personnel out there on the offensive end, and then they go from that tight running formation, they spread everything out. Well, T.J. Hawkinson is a good receiving tight end. The fact they wouldn't utilize more than that, so I don't think we're going to miss him that much either. He really wasn't utilized that often. The one time outside of last week, he had that big gain. He balled out on that specific play. He had some yak on there, but outside of that, the only time he was really utilized is when we were missing almost everybody against the Seattle.
The entire offense
exactly.
was gone, yeah.
So I mean, I'm sure it's going to affect you in some ways, but I can't imagine it hurting you too much. Jared Goff's already come out and said that Amon-Ra St. Brown's the guy that he goes to when he's looking when things are in shambles. So you got that part of it covered. Hopefully, like you said, Jameson Williams does come back. You see him utilized more within this offense. We're going to find out. Also, Ben Johnson and Jared Goff tear this offense together in the offseason. They had those 2 days where they kind of just came up with a philosophy for this offensive plan, and it was mostly built around what Jared was successful with back in L.A. Back in L.A., he didn't really utilize the tight end position much. I mean, Higbee was there at times, but he wasn't integral part of that offense.
Yeah, and they had 2 pretty good tight ends with Tyler Higbee and Gerald Everett.
Yeah, Gerald Everett I like a lot too. He saved my fantasy season as well. Shout out. But yeah, I don't think we're going to miss him too much. It sounds kind of crazy to say, because I do think he's a good tight end, but we didn't really utilize him to his full potential, in my opinion. And I don't think that Jared Goff is elite to just be dotting up the field.
I don't think anybody thinks Jared Goff is elite.
Yeah. It is what it is, man. I don't...
if you think Jared Goff is elite, you might need to be checked psychiatrically.
Yes. If you think Jared Goff's elite, you're probably in your basement in the YouTube channel trying to report other YouTube channels because you're really sad about your life and your wife. And then you wear 2 watches and really weird shirts. Anyway, do you expect the offense to take a step back?
No.
Without TJ?
Again, no, I don't.
Flannel Sam?
I mean, if it does, it's negligible. I mean, honestly, if we're talking about
no, I'm playing.
Yeah, negligible. If we're talking about the team as a whole, they were 1-6 with him. I know that it wasn't all the offense's fault. They've been, for the most part of this season, the strength, but still, it wasn't primarily because of T.J. Hawkinson. Did he have that one monster game? Absolutely. He was that number 8 overall pick in that game. Did he play well last week? Absolutely. But overall, his numbers will say that he is mid, and I think Brock Wright and James Mitchell could approximate them, or maybe they just don't use the tight end anymore. More targets for Amon-Ra. Honestly, easy.
Again, yeah, I think T.J. Hawkinson was averaging maybe 6 targets, aside from that one blow-up game.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you've said multiple times, I think James Mitchell, Brock Wright, and possibly Shane Zylstra, I feel like he would be the one that you call up as your third tight end. Can easily replicate that type of performance.
Yeah. I think we should.
It's not like they have giant shoes to fill in the production standpoint. He is obviously T.J. Hockenson is much more athletic and seems more fluid out there. Although James Mitchell seems like a great athlete, and
James Mitchell, good athlete.
Looks like he can get down the field pretty well. So we'll see how he kind of takes steps forward. This being his rookie year, coming off an injury, I'd like to see him get a majority of the snaps
James
against
Mitchell?
the Packers. Yeah, I'd like to see him get a vast majority of the snaps.
I know that, like with tight ends just in general. I mean, you're seeing Kyle Pitts go through it too, but statistically, like unless they're great, it's like 2 years before they start to pop off.
Yeah.
And maybe James, we may want that out of him, but I don't think we're going to see that out of him at least until next year. And even look at the routes we build; they're not based upon a tight end's athletic ability. It's based upon like scheme. You know what I'm saying? Like the reception that we had James Mitchell last week. He was blocking for a minute, stopped, and then ran up that route with Jared Goff with him on that play action. You don't really need TJ to run this offense, all due respect to him. But where am I at? 6'10"?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me about Big Frog?
Big Frog. Of course I can tell you about Big Frog because you can get a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog in Novi. All you have to do is go in there, tell them we sent you, and they will print you out one on the spot. That's Big Frog in Novi. Check them out or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries, what will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the three biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
I just want you guys to win these tickets, I swear to you. I'm not crazy, man. I just want you to win these damn tickets. All right, Detroit versus Green Bay. You can win front row seats. All you have to do is impersonate me, Dan Campbell, head coach of the Detroit Lions. I'm going to Joe, what's his name again? Guys, impersonate Dan Campbell, Joe Swanson. Upload it into Instagram and or Twitter. Make sure you guys use the hashtag Woodward Front Row. And you, along with two others, can win a pair of front row tickets for Detroit versus Green Bay. The winner will be announced in 2 days on November 4th. So make sure you guys get that in. You saw your competition, by the way. I heard you guys, I seen you guys like dogging in the chat. If you want to sit front row, do better than that. What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Easy, joined by my man Spinmo Rax.
What up, though?
We got Young Sus, the TV Booth, JB Smooth, the ones and twos, and the legend killer, Flannel Sam. Sam, while you were away, we had many discussions about the Detroit Lions' future in terms of like the quarterback position, in terms of just draft in general, and we've kind of found ourselves debating, Will Anderson or quarterback, and we've had the quarterback conversations all week, the past 2 weeks, but Will Anderson, I decided to do a by the numbers on a potential projected number 1 overall pick. Fun, Sam, I know you're a nerd with the numbers. How you feeling about Will Anderson? Sell me on him. Sell me as a number 1 pick for the Lions.
Will Anderson last season had arguably the most dominant college football season by an edge rusher in college football history.
Should have won the Heisman.
He could have. He should have even been there over Aiden Hutchinson, and I'm an Aiden Hutchinson fanboy, at least as a Michigan player. If Will Anderson would have come out in last year's draft if he was able to. Every single team would have drafted him number 1 overall.
Facts.
Every single one. Trayvon Walker would have not been the number 1 pick. It would have been Will Anderson. I would have rather had Will Anderson by 10 times over than Aiden Hutchinson. He really is that good. He had 17.5 sacks, 31 tackles for loss. 31 tackles for loss. That is beyond dominant in ways that I've never seen. And 101 tackles, if you just want to include that in. That shows he's a pretty complete linebacker, too.
31 tackles for loss?
Yes, dude. My
edge?
By the number.
By the numbers.
Is 142. Because in 28 games at Alabama, this is before this season started,
Yeah.
Will Anderson had 142 quarterback pressures in 28 games. That was second most of a player under the Nick Saban regime.
Who's the most?
The most was Jonathan Allen. He had 144 pressures in 56 games. Will Anderson had 142 in 28 games. His stats in his career through 36 games, which is up to this week: 30.5 sacks, 189 total tackles, and 53.5 tackles for loss. The guy is a game breaker. The guy is a game ruiner. The guy is someone you need to revolve your entire offensive game plan upon knowing he is on the opposition. Will Anderson might be the best edge rusher prospect I've seen in my entire life.
Flannel Sam, you second
Other
that?
than like Myles Garrett. Like Myles Garrett's up there too, but 142 pressures in 28 games. That is disgusting.
I think Will Anderson as a prospect is even better than Myles Garrett. As a prospect.
Yes.
I don't
agree.
The last defensive player I can remember making this big of an impact on college football was our guy, Ndamukong Suh, who was an absolute, but he just superstar, super duper star, probably should have won the Heisman in his year at Nebraska. Will Anderson is just that kind of dominant. I know he's not quite putting up the numbers this year as last year, but I look back to a game that they played against Texas A&M. That was the game where Bryce Young was out. They were playing their backup, so Alabama wasn't winning as big. But Will Anderson, he single-handedly won that game for them on the defensive end by just the way he hounded the Texas A&M quarterback. I think his name was Haynes King. I think he had something like 8 quarterback hits. He didn't get any sacks, but just the way that he was able to force the quarterback to get rid of the ball before he wanted to kind of drop back and just throw it away, to make errant throws. I think Alabama loses that game without him. And I think Alabama last year maybe loses 3 or 4 games without Will Anderson. Yeah. He is the kind of dominant that you didn't even see out of anyone in last year's class. And it was a loaded edge rusher class. But Will Anderson is above them, and it's not even close. Not even close.
Now, I've watched the Tennessee game, and I watched the Texas game. And obviously, their offense has exploded on the Alabama defense.
Yeah.
Is there an excuse for that, or I can't put the pressure entire defense on one guy, but
yeah, the back end of Alabama's defense is not what it was multiple years ago. Even the defensive line outside of Will Anderson is not what you don't have the 9 draft picks in the first 2 rounds that you normally do on a Nick Saban defense. So, and they went up against Quinn Ewers and Hendon Hooker, who are 2 of the top 10 quarterbacks in NCAA right now.
You second that?
Yeah, if
their safeties are good, but their cornerbacks aren't great.
There's a chance that Will Anderson is the only first-round draft pick from that defense. It's not the Nick Saban defense of yesteryear. And Eazy, I understand, because even I was thinking, how is Hendon Hooker able to light up a defense that has Will Anderson?
He had some time back there in some situations too.
Well, and yeah, that's the thing. He wasn't great in that game, but I also just look back to, and I know this is a bit of a cop-out, he shouldn't even have to be in college right now.
Yes.
He should be the leading candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year in the NFL right now.
Facts.
Because he would have been the number 1 overall pick. There's no such thing, but unanimously last year. Any team that would have had it, Will Anderson would have been the guy. He's bored. he might be bored. But even bored, he's still putting up damn good numbers this year. 6 sacks, 12 tackles for loss. People would kill for those numbers.
Draft this man now. Draft him.
Yeah, I'm sold right now.
I'm sold too.
It's like a drug, these numbers you're telling me, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
142 pressures in 28 games. So that's
defense is clearly
maths.
we have a graphic right. I don't know if you see it in their sauce. It's Dan Campbell and the defense.
Yep, I got
statistics.
It. You want it?
5 quarterback pressures a game.
Yes. 32nd points per game, 32nd yards per game, 32nd yards per play, 32nd in first downs allowed in game, 32nd in first down conversion rates. These are defensive stats of the Detroit Lions. Defense is quite clearly a problem.
It is something we are lacking to put.
Not good.
I hate to even be having these discussions. Like we're like at the halfway point for the damn football season, but
the Detroit Lions need defense.
I've been Team Bryce Young, but like Flannel Sam, I don't know your opinion on this. Would you take Will Anderson still?
God, see, that's tough because obviously Jared Goff is not the guy. We've all knew that at the beginning of the year, but he showed some flashes that made you think, maybe he can be sort of that game manager quarterback. But that's not the case. They're 1-6. They're going to be in position to draft one of those top prospects high. At least I believe they will. I don't know if you want to pass up on a Bryce Young or a CJ Stroud, but at the same time, what if you cut some more players and go after a guy that previously I wasn't sold on going after, but maybe a Lamar Jackson, and then package that with drafting Will Anderson?
I'd even well, hold on though, because to get Lamar though, we would have to make the trade because they could franchise tag him, and we'd have to do the same move that.
He said he's not going to play under a franchise tag though.
But still, to get him off the other franchise, you have to give up the. Was it like would they give up for Devontae Adams this past year? Do you guys remember?
I don't remember.
Off the top of your head tops.
It was something big. But on the
hey Jamie, can you pull that up? No, I'm kidding. I'm Joe Rogan. I'm sorry.
But on the other hand, I got another by the numbers. You know the total number of sacks of the player on the Lions who is second on the team? It's Alex Anzalone at 1.5. And Aiden Hutchinson leads the team and leads all rookies with 4.5. But it's not the most impactful 4.5 because you can say that he played 2 really good games and then 5 where he was pretty much a ghost. So they need edge rushers and they need them bad. But at the same time, it's an opportunity to draft a quarterback. I don't even know if the allure of Will Anderson would make me want to do that over a Bryce Young, even after I just sold Will Anderson, I think, pretty well because he's easy to sell because he's so damn good. My head's spinning a little bit, if you couldn't tell. I don't think you can go wrong, but...
So is mine, literally.
Seriously, you can't go wrong with either of them, but at the same time, yes, you can. Yeah. And that's why my head is spinning.
I agree with you. I said it yesterday that I think the Lions already... they went out and they got their blue chip pass rusher that they wanted in Aiden Hutchinson. So I think this is the year that you go after a quarterback. Albeit, you pass up on Will Anderson and he turns into, Micah Parsons or Myles Garrett or TJ Watt or one of those freaks of nature. It might hurt. But I do think they already invested a lot in the defensive line and edge rushers with Pascal and Aiden Hutchinson in the last draft. I just have a feeling they're going quarterback, no matter what.
You kind of need to if you're Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, just to keep the fan base on ice a little bit there too. But personally, I might pull the trigger on a Will Anderson.
It's hard.
It is, yeah, man. And then you can think about it too. Like I don't know what type of year we'd have following that because you obviously still have the second first round pick and you have additional draft capital to move up and maybe you land a Levis, but I mean 2024 though you still have Caleb Williams, Quinn Ewers at that point too, like
JJ McCarthy.
I don't know who's saying that.
I think JJ McCarthy could be a good professional quarterback if he gets into a system that lets him throw the ball more than 5 times a game.
I agree.
I mean if the expectations are 2024, I feel like Hendon Hooker might be there in the second round too if you really like him.
I don't want Hendon Hooker. He's too old.
But I think you could take him almost as like the flyer type.
He'll be 30 at the end of his rookie contract.
Oh, man. My head is spinning. Tell me about SMA. I need some help.
SMA, or the Sports Marketing Agency, helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com to get the help you deserve. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We'll be right back.
Woodward Sports is giving you another chance to sit front row, this time at the Detroit versus Green Bay game. Think you have the best Dan Campbell impression?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Can you say man with the best of them?
I got it. Here's what I need, man. I need you to trust me. I swear to God, I'm not a lunatic. I swear to you.
Can you say, let's go for it on 4th down?
Man, I got a plan, I swear to you. All I think about is you guys. That's all I think about, man.
Are you a master motivator?
That's all I think about is you guys.
Show us in a video. Record your best Dan Campbell impression and post the video on Twitter or Instagram. Using hashtag Woodward Front Row, we'll select the best 3 impersonations of Motor City Dan Campbell and send you and a guest front row. So knock the dust off the old sweatpants, light some kneecaps, and enter today. And as always, go Lions, man.
I just need you to trust me. That's all. Please.
I don't care if I got 1 toe, 2 butt cheeks, and a rock.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
The Foaling Warehouse is the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play as well as private lane reservation for $120. If you get thirsty, they've got a $2 mystery beer vending machine as well as multiple fully loaded bars to choose from. So make sure you go check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at foalingwarehouse.com.
What up, though? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spin Morax.
What up, though?
Got Young Sus to the team roof as always, JB Smooth, and we are graced by the presence of the legend killer, Flannel Sam. And what you just sold me on Will Anderson just to back out yourself last minute. What the hell, man?
It's not really backing out. It's the fact that we all agree Jared Goff is not the answer. Are we going to be able to get a QB in free agency? We'll have the cap space moving forward, but still, we don't know that. If we have an opportunity to draft a potential franchise quarterback, I think that is a play that the Lions have to consider. But I will say this. If there was any edge rusher probably in the past 5 or 10 years that I would draft over a potential franchise quarterback, it would be a guy like Will Anderson. Mm-hmm. And I think that's saying something.
Because there's like, if I'm trying to sell somebody on a Will Anderson, which I'm not completely sold, and you guys should know based off like my draft positions like last year, like I'm all over the place. My goal in any draft is to get a guy that's going to produce for you. I was down with Jordan Davis. I was down with Kyle Hamilton. Like I just want somebody that's going to produce. And if it's a high pick, obviously you want him to produce elite. But just give me a guy that's going to ball out. Again, you go back to the Ed Reed draft. If you did a power ranking from that draft class, Ed Reed's probably a top 5 pick, maybe even top 3, maybe even number 1. I don't know who else was in that draft class, but that's just the way these things work out. At the end of the day, you want a dog-ass football player. I don't care what position it is, but if I were to sell you on Will Anderson, I'd make the argument of one, you do have that second first-round pick. There are Deshaun Watsons. There are Patrick Mahomes, Aaron. I mean, I'm saying guys that aren't going in that top 3 that end up working out. Guys that get to sit for a little bit. And by the way, you have a Jared Goff situation where he might be able to sit for a little bit too. Learn the game a bit more before you just insert him in the game right away. And then if that season doesn't work out either way, say you don't even get Will Levis, Caleb Williams, Quinn Ewers. Like, I don't know, man.
So Ed Reed went 24th overall.
Mm-hmm.
Lions had the 3rd pick.
They took a fullback.
No.
Who'd they take?
Quarterback.
Who?
Joey Harrington.
You know what I'm saying?
David Carr went 1st overall.
Positional value would tell you go the quarterback route.
David Carr went 1st overall. Julius Peppers went 2nd. and then Joey Harrington.
Ooh, I might take Peppers.
We
over
missed
Reed.
out
I
on
ain't gonna lie.
what Dwight Freeney, Brian McKinney, Jeremy Shockey, Albert Hainsworth, Ed Reed.
Albert Hainsworth. Whoa.
I'm surprised how many of these names I know.
Really?
Yeah.
Clinton Portis. Yikes, dude.
I don't know, man.
Brian Westbrook.
I think I want Will Anderson after today. I'm sold. Am I gross for that?
No, I'm not mad. It's not like I said. I wouldn't be mad either way, but I just want a quarterback.
Because does the size of because I love Bryce Young, that'd be my pick for sure. But does the size concern you at all, Flynn? I'm saying, like, I know we've seen Russell Wilson. I know you see Drew Brees as like 6 foot guys. He's 6 foot, bro. Give us short kings credit, fam. 6 foot's not even short.
Spencer's face.
But like it's far between to find these like undersized quarterbacks like winning. Like, would you? Can I sell you on being patient?
Live action, Mr. Krabs meme.
I mean, Bryce Young and his size, does it concern me? I don't think you need to be the prototype in the modern NFL. I think he's proven that he has a skill set. He's a great pocket passer, and I don't think he's also not as much of a runner. He's not going to take as many hits. You worry about the passing lanes and his like seeing over 6'5" linemen. I think that's a concern. But in the modern NFL, you can be like a Drew Brees. You can be a Russell Wilson or a Kyler Murray. I mean, Kyler Murray's a little bit more mobile, but I still get what you're saying.
He's also
shorter. Yeah, and succeed in the NFL. So it wouldn't turn me off if he was my guy. I might use it as a tiebreaker.
Yeah. Kyler Murray's legitimately 5'2".
He's 5'10".
Like 5'2". They say he's 5'10", but
hear me out. This is coming to me right now. So if it sounds crazy, take it with a grain of salt, all right? So Solo came in for this one, so
I got you. I was already cooking.
We dress Fish up.
As Kyler Murray?
As a prostitute. We sneak him into CJ Stroud's door. All right. We take photos of this. And we put a gas mask on him, too. Bam. He drops in the draft. We pick him up at pick 15. CJ Stroud to the Detroit Lions. We solve everything.
Will Anderson at 1, CJ Stroud at 15.
Yeah.
Easy. If that could happen, I would do terrible, disgusting things like that to make that happen. I'm not even gonna lie.
So if we can't convince Fish, can we convince you to dress up as said prostitute?
Oh God, for CJ Stroud at 15 and Will Anderson at 1. I will not answer in a definite way.
There's an episode of South Park where they do that.
Really?
Yeah, they dress Butters up as it's the Captain Hindsight episode.
For real?
They take pictures of him with Captain Hindsight.
I'm just saying, dude. Like Fish would be talking, and he'd be like, "Man, I love your accent, girl."
You want to watch rugby? Want to watch some cricket?
Want to watch rugby? I'm just saying, man. You know how we do like these Woodward sports contests, like the I'll kick your coverage, Dan Campbell impersonation, like
who can make CJ Stroud fall the furthest in the draft?
Who's gonna sacrifice the girl to make this happen? All right? Somebody. Maybe call Miss Puerto Rico.
Margarine.
Margarine.
There's another episode where Butters dresses up as a girl to invade the slumber party to get one of those the paper things.
Yeah.
They think it can tell the future.
That's so funny.
They call her Margarine.
Sam, how do you feel about Will Levis, and do you think he'd be there at 15 though? If he did want to go the Will Anderson route?
If the Lions draft Will Levis, I will lose my mind. I think he's an absolute fraud as a first-round pick. I've never seen it. And in that last game against Tennessee, it was his chance to kind of showcase himself. You're going up against Hendon Hooker. It was a game that I think Kentucky, if you're going in, you think you have a chance to win.
For sure.
And Tennessee's defense has shown to be suspect for a lot of the season, and he goes out 0 touchdowns, 3 picks, 98 yards passing.
He choked pretty hard.
He choked really hard, and his numbers, I just don't see it with Will Levis. I've never seen a player look so mid in college at so many times and then just have it translate to the NFL. I know a lot of people use the Justin Herbert example, but I think Justin Herbert was better in college than people give him credit for. I think he was a damn good college player, a hell of a lot better than that bum Will Levis. Do not bring him to Detroit under any circumstances.
Killer! He strikes again.
Before they can even be legends, he's killing them.
What about Josh Allen? How did he look in college? I don't even remember.
Josh Allen Josh Allen's 6'5". He runs a 4.5, and he can throw the ball 70
Wait, yeah, how big is
yards.
Will Levis? He's not a big guy, huh?
He's big. He's not Josh Allen big. Josh Allen's different, dude.
Will Levis is 232, 6'3".
Yeah.
That's big.
What's Josh Allen? Is he 6'5"?
6'4", 6'5".
Well, that's the thing. Like, Josh Allen, that's actually another example that people use. He was kind of
6'5",
mid.
240.
Yeah, he was mid in college. He had a couple chances to. I know they had a game where he was at Wyoming. They were playing at Iowa, and he was not very good. But the thing about Josh Allen is when you watch him at Pro Day, when you watch him at the combine,
he throws the ball 70 yards flat-footed. Like.
If you were to build a quarterback in the lab, it would literally be Josh Allen.
Yeah.
That's not Will Levis.
That's fair.
How about the route of an athlete? Like just kind of like the Jalen Hurts situation they got going on in Philly right now.
So you're saying like a Richardson from Florida? What's his first name?
Oh, he's don't get me started.
He's
on
a freak athlete, but he can't complete passes.
Saying like a little late round flyer. If he doesn't work out, you can pull Arizona Cardinals, deuces, or just keep it in the
We're
second.
not saying take the guy in the first round, but if
You
get him in
yeah.
the fourth or something like. Well, we don't have any fourth round picks, but you can get him in the fifth or the third.
Because as much as we want to expedite the Jared Goff process of getting him the hell out of town, like it's you guys might hate to hear this, but I think it's very possible we keep him next year. Even in the scenario where we draft a quarterback and that quarterback sits for a bit. And to be honest with you guys, I'm kind of like in favor of letting a rookie quarterback marinate for a minute on the bench and just like learn a bit. There's too many examples of guys who sat for a while and it worked out for them. And this could be an awful example, but I mean Geno Smith sat for like years.
That is an awful
and he
example.
looks like a totally different human being.
That is an awful
You're
example.
using Geno Smith when you have Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes as better
No,
examples.
yeah, and I could bring those examples up too. But I'm saying like you had Geno to that collection as well though. Like
also, I don't think
Deshaun sat, Lamar sat,
Aaron Rodgers sat,
Mahomes
behind Brett
sat,
Favre.
Rodgers sat,
Pat Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith, who I don't think
Jared
Alex
Goff
Smith's
is
a stud
Alex
or anything.
Smith.
I think Alex Smith's better than
Yeah,
As the
Alex Smith's
KC
better.
Chiefs quarterback with Andy Reid, he's better than Detroit Lions Jared Goff.
He was better in San Francisco too. He didn't turn the ball over like Jared Goff does.
Either way though, I'm saying like
I don't want
you
my
need
young
to-
quarterback to learn anything from Jared Goff.
I think that no, like his arm is just weak at times. It's just it's just soft. I feel like he's not. Obviously, doesn't. He's like pretty bad at like making reads. I feel like especially when he's under pressure.
Yeah,
but
he's a one-read quarterback.
yeah, I feel like he wouldn't be an awful guy to learn under.
Well, I can think of a lot.
I just don't think he has the physical like attributes, and obviously
Bring in Baker and have him learn.
no, God,
God damn it.
yeah.
I still couldn't believe that was a thing. The Lions are going to get Baker Mayfield. Why?
People were like sold on
He's
it.
worse than Jared Goff.
PJ Walker is showing him up right now.
Honestly,
PJ Walker's the best quarterback on that roster.
by far.
Yes.
Who's better, Baker
Well, Sam
Mayfield or
Darnold's
Sam
still
Darnold?
there. Sam Darnold. I'd rather have Sam Darnold
Sam
than Baker
Darnold
Mayfield.
kind of sucks too.
I'd rather have Sam Darnold than Baker
I'd
Mayfield.
rather have
100%.
Sam Mayfield.
I do hate Baker Mayfield. That's
It's
true.
not even a hate thing for me. Baker is bad, bro. I don't care. I don't get what people see. I don't get what they thought they saw.
He's got grit. He plays hard.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
He's
That's what
literally
they
like
say.
Johnny Manziel. It's a little bit cleaner record.
Yeah, he's sober Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, literally.
Mike Evans literally made Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel was good at staying alive in the pocket. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But he would just throw the ball up, and Mike Evans would moss everybody at Texas A&M. Mike Evans was a absolute monster in college, dude.
Facts.
If you literally watch the tape, it's Johnny Manziel running around for like 10 seconds, chucking it up, and Mike Evans in the end zone just mossing like 3 dudes. It's like, well, damn. Like,
Lions are eager to cut Jared Goff, but they're eager to cut their hair spinning. Where's the place to go?
Lady Jane's, of course. Because you can come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment on your dream home up to $200,000. Walk in to Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, no appointment necessary, because at Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We'll be right back.
championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, whether you're a player or a fan, helping you buy, sell, or invest is Mike Phillips' top priority. Being in the game for 23 years makes Mike the number one option for anyone. If you have real estate needs, call Michael Phillips at 313-403-0011. That's 313-403-0011. Mike Phillips, game on.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spin Mo Rex.
What up, though?
Yeah, Young Sus, JB Smooth, and the legend Caleb Flannel Salmon. I want to talk Detroit Pistons. They do play tonight, and Cade Cunningham has looked phenomenal lately, and I do want to get to that. But before we do so, just because it's relevant, I kind of want to have the conversation. Detroit Lions are clearly in a tear down. I mean, Sheila Ford said it. Some people call it a rebuild. We have nothing to rebuild to. We're in a building. We're just in a demolition right now. You seem to be not sold on Dan Campbell anymore.
Yeah.
I know that I personally am not sold on Dan Campbell anymore. Flannel Sam, I don't know where you stand on that, but if we're doing this, right, if we've gotten rid of TJ Hawkinson, we're looking towards the future, why not consider doing the same at the head coaching position?
I think they're kind of different entities, because this was still a rebuild. That's what they got brought into. It was it being a rebuild. I don't want to fire Dan Campbell yet. It's like I said, what did I say to you after week 3?
Does this dress make me look fat?
Yes, but other than that, I said it's going to be a lot harder for me to sit here and say I don't want to fire Dan Campbell when I'm looking at a 1-7 record.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's looking like it's going to be next week.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm kind of off the boat on him just from how he's responding to things, the reasoning he's giving for decisions made. It's lost. Because, I like the hypeness, I like the stuff like that, but the stuff he said has never been just flat-out stupid and meaningless. And that's what it's been these past couple press conferences. It has been no answers. It has been, we'll see. Shake it up a little bit. Maybe that'll work. And that is not acceptable to me as a head coach in the NFL.
I think he's been that, though.
I don't think he's always
look at the entire offseason. Who's calling plays this year? Is it going to be you or Ben Johnson? We'll see. I don't know. Might have to cut his throat for the job. You know what I'm saying? He's always been that. It's just when you're losing, you put a magnifying glass on every little issue that you can point to. I think he's been that personally, but I don't know, Flannel Sam. And I'm not saying it, but I'm just I guess I wouldn't be mad. I guess I could see the logic in it. I think I put what I put in the prep here. Throw the add a baby out with the bathwater.
Out with the bathwater.
Yeah. Would you be willing to, restart the head coaching position if it's truly a teardown and we're starting fresh? Because he doesn't seem to to be the guy so far. We're being honest.
And he doesn't seem to be making any improvements either.
And that's very true. And just for the record, I don't think that it's as much of a teardown as maybe people say, because I don't think the T.J. Hawkinson absence is as big of a deal as some people do. But that being said, if they were to get rid of Dan Campbell now, I wouldn't cry any tears, because his record as a head coach, I know a lot of people will point to the fact that he hasn't always had the most talented rosters, is 4-19-1. It is 100% on the table that the Lions finish this season with a worse record than last year. And last year was 3-13-1. I mean, when are the wins coming? Every team on their schedule that was supposed to be, kind of not easier games, but more winnable games, a lot of those teams, like the Jets, the Giants, even the Carolina Panthers, the Bears, they all look better than we thought they would be. Mm-hmm. So I don't see a way in which Dan Campbell's kind of gets some fight out of his players and they scrap together some wins. I don't see it. And if you're 2 years in, I mean, even now at 4-19-1, that's terrible. But if you're 2 years in and you're, I don't know, 6-26-1 or 6-27-1, whatever that would be, you should be automatically fired if your record is that bad. And that's where I could see it heading, and that's why I would be 100% okay if they were to just give Dan Campbell the axe right now.
It feels dirty to say, because I'm not saying I want him fired. I'm just saying, like, I can see the logic in it now. Mm-hmm. Because as much as I'm a fan of the guy Dan Campbell, the coach Dan Campbell has shown me some questionable moments. The Minnesota game is the most questionable one. That one pissed me off severely. It was maddening. That field goal does nothing for you. Like, there's just no, I can't find any sound logic into kicking that field goal. And then we had certain situations last year. I think the one at home, I think it was at home against the Vikings, or no, it was the Bears, where they had the whole timeout situation at the end of the game. I blame some of that on Aaron Glenn. I don't know if you guys have watched, but he was the one screaming timeout, and I think Campbell just kind of because it's his boy. But the promise that I even see in this team in terms of coaching staff isn't in Dan Campbell. And I'm not there internally to see how much he's motivating these guys, how much he's picking them back up after loss to continue on fighting, because that's the thing we hear over and over and over again from national media and people that have had actual relationships with them. Is that that's where that's his value as a guy, but the coaching standards, I guess the pieces that I see as promising pieces going forward aren't Dan Campbell.
Yeah,
it's Aaron Glenn, it's Ben Johnson, it's R.I.P. Aubrey Pleasant. I wasn't gonna say him anyway, but the offensive line coach, I always mess his name up, Hank Fraley or Fraley Hank, whatever
Hank
the hell it
goes. Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's like we said, the lack of adjustments, the lack of improvement from the coaching staff, from Dan Campbell in his decision making and his timeout usage and his late game clock management is a huge red flag. For me, the only reason I give him, I'm not saying fire him right now, I don't want him on my team anymore, is because I do know he came in under the 8 ball with that roster. He came in on an 8 ball too. Yeah, he came in. That's true. He came in behind the 8 ball and on an 8 ball. But he inherited the worst roster in the NFL. That just traded away its 2 best defensive players and the greatest quarterback in the history of the franchise. And they're sitting on dead cap from multiple players that don't play for the team anymore. So I knew it was going to take time. That's why I had them at 7-10 this year, because I thought it'd get a little bit better. Mm-hmm. And even that is looking like it's never going to happen. I have them at maybe 4 wins for this season, but for me, there's not a lot you can point to and be like, yeah, Dan Campbell should have his job because of blank. Dan Campbell should keep his job because of his decision making, because of his, play calling, because of his. You can't. There's literally nothing there.
And I said it yesterday too. The Aubrey Pleasant firing just looked a lot more ugly to me because we had the Anthony Lynn firing the year prior. And at that point, Dan Campbell was the guy in charge of hiring these 2 gentlemen. So at that point, it seems as if you're learning on the job, both internally with your coaching staff and on the field, because you have the on the field situations too. I like Dan Campbell. I'm not don't get me wrong. I like to root for him. He's entertaining. Mm-hmm. He's how you want your football coach to look and act. But as a football coach, I just don't know if that's there.
I don't think a lot of coaches could have came into this situation and had immediate success.
100%.
But I also don't think that a lot of them would have been this abysmal of a failure.
I hate that I'm saying this because I really do.
I like the guy.
Yeah.
I like the guy. Everybody likes the guy. You want him to work out, but football is black and white. It's wins or losses, and he's not winning games.
JB, you want to talk some sense to us, or?
I mean, I can't talk you guys off the ledge because with that same thing, there are reasons to keep them and then reasons to get rid of them. You know, you can't really argue with either or. But it's like, who else are you going to get to come in here and coach the Detroit Lions? Sean Payton? Are you really going to try and pull him out of retirement to come and coach the Detroit Lions?
Urban Meyer.
Yep.
Urban Meyer. There you go. At least he's not Urban Meyer.
Yeah. Well, there's that too.
At least he's not kicking players.
I guess. Guys, I have a now 3-year-old son who keeps me up all night. Just all throughout the day. He's hilarious. Huh?
I'm not 3, I'm Bryson.
I'm not 3, I'm Bryson. And I come on the show and I'm supposed to be tired, but I'm not. You want to know why? Because I use PEDs, performance enhancing drinks, and it's called Centron. Because right now you can try their limited edition 6-pack sampler, the OG, the cranberry, and the sugar-free. If you're trying to drop some LBs at CentronWorld.com/Red Wings. They are the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. Let's go Red Wings and get energized with Centron's Woodward Heavyweights. We'll be right back talking Detroit Pistons.
Woodward Sports is giving you another chance to sit front row, this time at the Detroit versus Green Bay game. Think you have the best Dan Campbell impression?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Can you say man with the best of them?
I got it. Here's what I need, man. I need you to trust me. I swear to God, I'm not a lunatic. I swear to you.
Can you say, let's go for it on 4th down?
Man, I got a plan, I swear to you. All I think about is you guys. That's all I think about, man.
Are you a master motivator?
That's all I think about is you guys.
Show us in a video. Record your best Dan Campbell impression and post the video on Twitter or Instagram using hashtag Woodward Front Row. We'll select the best 3 impersonations of Motor City Dan Campbell and send you and a guest front row. So knock the dust off the old sweatpants, light some kneecaps, and enter today. And as always, go Lions, man.
I just need you to trust me. That's all. Please.
I don't care if I got 1 toe, 2 butt cheeks, and a rock.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Custom Health Centers. Get your custom approach to weight loss. Think of all the ways that weight affects your health. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Custom Health Centers is blessed to have over 20,000 success stories. It has been our honor to help many professional athletes lose weight and improve their health. People like Detroit Lion Eddie Murray and Detroit Pistons Rick Mahorn are examples. Start losing weight today. Call Dr. Jason and Custom Health at 844-789-THIN. That's 844-789-THIN.
Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward
Shout out
Heavyweights.
Gnarls Barkley, best rebounder in NBA history.
You know what's funny? Live on Woodsports.com, Terry Foster, that one time he was on BD, he's like, in the NBA, you don't always have to be like a tall guy. Sometimes you need to have the ass on you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No.
Big old butt like Kyle Lowry. He's got them cakes. Kyle Lowry's caked up. What are you talking about?
Shoot, dog. Congratulations.
You ain't noticed?
You never seen Kyle Lowry?
You ain't lying.
Yeah, all right. That's what I thought. I never lie.
Boy, I never lied. All right, speaking of basketball, we had a couple basketball topics planned in this one, so I'm kind of mixed two of these together. James Edwards wrote a fantastic article.
Great article.
On Cade Cunningham becoming the mini magician. You could possibly crowning him the GOAT in the mid-range game as in today's NBA. Not the GOAT of all time. I apologize. Yeah. But, like, you know, the best in today's game. Obviously, DeMar DeRozan, another guy you mentioned that conversation. DeMar DeRozan, actually, another guy coached on Dwayne Casey. But the emergence of his mid-game, is he a star yet? Considering like this Warriors game, getting close to the Bucks, like, has Cade arrived? Is this what he is?
Yeah, he is a star. That man is a star. He's not a superstar yet. But you look at this man, and we talked about, you know, James Edwards III wrote a great article for The Athletic, and in that he has, over the past 4 games, Cade's been averaging 27.7 points per game on 49% from the field. He averages 10.3 pull-ups per game and is averaging 58.5% on those, and has attempted 12.1 field goals from 5 to 19 feet. He's shooting over 50%. So as James alluded to in the article, the guy is a midi magician. The guy is playing out of his mind. He seems very comfortable pulling up and knocking those shots down, whether it's in the half court or in transition or whatever is happening. The man is playing great basketball right now. He is looking like everything you want out of the number 1 pick, which is what we all thought he could be. I don't think there was anyone thinking Cade would be anything less. I didn't think he'd be exceeding this much this year. I had him at, I think before the season when we broke it down, I had him at like 23, 7, and 7. But you look at it in these past 4, he's been averaging almost 28 points per game, and it's amazing to see that. The guy's taking over. This is his team. This is obviously his team. We talked about even when Bojan Bogdanovic came to the squad, he was like, all right, you know, this is his team. This kid's something else. And we talked about the respect he was given last year from players like Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry and other players coming out and saying that, you know, this kid's going to be a problem. And he's showing it already. He unlocked a new facet of his game, really. We always saw him hit a little bit of twos here and there, but he's been there all game. In the past couple games, he has been living and dying in that mid-range area, and he's doing a lot of living.
Yeah, and like, at first, I cringed at it real quick when I saw the initial comparison to DeMar DeRozan. But
DeMar's an MVP contender last year.
He was, but that's not winning you a championship in the modern NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like the DeMar DeRozan, like that was like in the 90s. The DeMar DeRozan's getting you there. But
I think he is more of it to his game than DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say. That's why I had to like relax myself a bit. Is like Cade still like, I still always believe this. He's an elite playmaker. That's going to be like his his thing. I mean, the midi magician. I saw like this last year, though. By the way, too. Like if you go back to that Nets game specifically, that's where he was eating.
That pass he made to Killian Hayes in their last game, like from the 3-point line, it bounced past Killian Hayes under the basket.
Yeah,
nasty. He spun it right to Killian Hayes for the layup. It was nasty. Grab his dick and twist it.
Whoa, hey, I didn't say all that.
The old dick twist.
I was doing a Spider-Man thing. You turned it something totally different.
It's an MMA fight, bro. But it's. Cade's look very good, and like you said, you alluded to, James compared him to DeMar DeRozan just in the aspect of his mid-range shot, because he is a much better playmaker. I think he has the ability to be a better defender, and he's gonna hit those 3-point shots. It's not like DeMar really until last year wasn't shooting threes at all.
Still isn't consistent with it. Yeah.
So I think Cade will be much better. This is a great article, though, by the way. You guys should go read that.
Yeah, shout out to James Edwards from The Athletic. Make sure you guys do that. I will give you Spencer's login, password, I eat dog shit 69. What's the exclamation point at the end of that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Use that one. Email bigpimpins69 at Comcast.
All caps.
At worldwidewest.net.
Can I say one of my friends, he had the worst email ever. It was cringe. He had it till he was like 15.
What was it?
He thought he was funny when he made it in like 4th grade. It was Huggies Lover 23.
Oh, that's creepy.
That is creepy.
That's not even funny. There's nothing funny about it. See, sus, even your friends are sus, right? You know, I ain't gonna lie to you.
That is a very sus friend. That also just reminded me of that Michael Scott moment in The Office where he's like, he's making a dating profile. I'm gonna put little boy lover so that people know that I love kids.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yo.
Hey, yo. Hey, I appreciate you guys for rocking with the heavyweights today. Time escaped us. It's already 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
Detroit
7
Pistons
o'clock.
get ready to pop off.
Pistons are going to be on soon. We appreciate you guys for tapping in. Make sure you like and subscribe. You know where we are. We're on woodwardsports.com. You know when we are. It's 5 to 7 Monday through Friday. For the man to my left, the one, the only Speak Easy, Young Sus, hold it down in the TD booth. Our boy Sam Flannel back with the ring on his finger in the Maz chair. And our boy JB on the ones and twos. I am Spencer Axter. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We'll catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Choke.